So, Pastor, can you give us a brief overview of the Gospels?
Yes. Maybe we can look at the beginning of another one of the four Gospels, and one of the good places to look for to understand the nature of the Gospel. The Gospel of Luke, and let us look together at chapter 1 and verses 1 to 4. When we read this, we will get an idea about how the Gospels, in a sense, came to us. The other Gospel writers do not give us any preface of how they happen to write it, interestingly. In fact, all the four Gospels are anonymous. The writers don't mention their names. So here we are, chapter 1, verses 1 to 4. Luke says, "Many have undertaken to draw up an account of the things that have been fulfilled among us." That's an important word, fulfillment. So that means there were many accounts by the time Luke writes this gospel, just as they were handed down to us by those who first were eyewitnesses and servants of the word. So this account that Luke is going to put together, he says, is based on eyewitness accounts. Luke himself is not an eyewitness. So he's drawing from eyewitness accounts. And then he says, "With this in mind, since I myself have carefully investigated everything from the beginning," that's kind of the language of research, "I too decided to write an orderly account for you." And when we later on look at the Gospel of Luke, we will see the kind of order he puts there. "Most excellent Theophilus." That looks like an important person, maybe the sponsor who helped Luke to focus on writing, "so that you may know the certainty of the things you have been taught." So what we realize here is Luke is putting together all the resources he gets from eyewitness accounts, drawing on them, putting them and arranging them in a way that he feels is going to help his first audience, Theophilus and others, to understand the gospel, and that they will be sure of what they have been taught. So the Gospels should be seen as based on eyewitness accounts. They are like what we may call witness documents. They should not be seen as some kind of modern biography. For that matter, you can't write a biography of a person without their birth narrative and something about that. Look at Gospel of Mark, begins with no mention of the birth of Jesus, or John for that matter, in that sense. So they are ancient biographies. We need to keep that in mind and passed on from time to time. Now, this understanding, maybe as we go along, I will explain some of the other questions. One of them was, I think your question was Jesus a rabbi? Yes, he's called rabbi also in the Gospels by somebody. Rabbi meant a teacher. And so Jesus is referred to as rabbi in a couple of places, but he's also referred to as some other words also. Rabbi often translated as teacher. So yes, let's go on. I hope that some of these questions will become clearer as we explain more about the Gospels.